Freaky Friday. How are we doing, everybody? It's your man and the host of this podcast, Sammy the Man McIntyre with Moving the Chains podcast. Go, Pack, go. How about them Cowboys? We had a great Thanksgiving slate of games. I was 0-4 in my picks. Didn't do so great. But fantastic games yesterday. Some wild games. The Cowboys coming back. Chiefs, do we know what's going on? A lot to talk about today. But I want to start with Green Bay. Green Bay, Detroit. In Detroit, Eminem, Jack White from White Stripes playing. Just felt badass. Felt awesome. But the game, on the other hand, was a different story. And I'm watching Green Bay yesterday. And when Jordan Love's on, and most happens a lot, it's hard to beat, man. And they got this run game going, their offensive line. It's just incredible. And Matt LaFleur's gotten a lot of shit. And some of it, is it rightfully so? I don't know. But my point is, I watched them yesterday have a masterclass. I mean, they ran for 100 yards. Really good on third down. Perfect on fourth down. Jordan Love just looking like, I don't even know. I mean, he looked like Mahomes meets Brett Favre. I mean, it was, with meets Aaron Rodgers. You mold them all together. He was slinging that pill yesterday. Christian Watson, get him back. That's the other thing. You got Wicks. You have Romeo Dobbs with a helmet condom on, whatever. And then I'm looking around. You got Jacobs. You got your offensive line. And then they got this speedster kid that just looks like a freak show. And I got to tell you, their defense had some problems yesterday. Stopping the Lions. I'll get to them in a second. Oof. Is their defense, Green Bay struggled, but they need a closer. And Micah Parsons was just that. I mean, he's fantastic. And they needed that in Green Bay. They've had good pass rushers over the years. This guy just feels different. Now, can you run on him? Yes. But when he gets to the quarterback, he's a difference maker. That's just what it is. And I'm watching yesterday, and I'm looking there on the NFC. Green Bay controls their own destiny right now. You know, I'm watching Philly lose today. I'll get to that game tomorrow. Got to go back and watch the highlights today. Probably after this. And, credit to Chicago. They're 9-3. Philadelphia looks broken. I'm going to get to them tomorrow. They're just a shit show. But I want to hop back into this game because I was in Chicago yesterday with my family. It was great seeing everybody. Eileen Rice, my Aunt Donna, Aunt Colleen. Hey, Rocky. We had a great time yesterday. And I'm watching yesterday. I caught glimpses of the game, and I just watched the highlights just before I hopped on here. And what I noticed is Green Bay controls their own destiny right now. They have the whole keys now. Now, whatever they do with it, it's up to them. In the NFC landscape, it kind of looks like, who do I trust right now? Dallas maybe gets in, probably not, but they're looking really impressive. I look at San Francisco, solid, but they're doing this like with smoke and mirrors. A lot of guys hurt. I just look around the NFC, and I don't know. I look at Green Bay. They're in that kind of mix with Seattle and St. Louis, with the Rams. And why not Green Bay? And I'll tell you what. They got a couple of tough games coming up, and they got Chicago. That's going to be the measuring stick. Now, I think it's more measuring stick to Chicago because they have not been Green Bay lately. And Green Bay's been whipping their tail for most of my life for the last 30 years, for the 30 years that since Favre got there. But I'm saying right now, they've been kicking everybody's ass. And mainly the Bears. So that's going to be a measuring stick game for the Bears. It's going to be a measuring stick for Green Bay too, no question. But to me, it's going to be the next couple weeks are going to come down to, hey, who wins who? Do you split with Chicago? Do you not? I don't know. But I will still always take the better run organization in the Packers and the Bears. That's just how I've always viewed it. So there you go. And then, so Green Bay, just to recap, I think they're in the driver's seat right now. They control their own destiny in the NFC. And look out, because Jordan Love looks like that, and that defense kind of gets a lead, pins the ears back. Night-night, because that defense is flying. Jeff Afley's done a fantastic job. And Jordan Love, he's a man. I mean, he's a beast. And on the flip side, I know the Lion fans are disappointed today. Mike Kesnick, Derek, all my guys that are Lions fans, it's hard right now. And this year, I got to be honest, it feels a little off. You've had your moments. But I'm telling you, you lose to two guys, Laporta and St. Brown, it's a wave of difference. And now listen, I'm never going to have problems with the Lions in terms of scoring points. They got offensive playmakers. J-Mo had that big drop, but he made up for it with big catches, and that touchdown for halftime was fantastic, bouncing off the guy. He's a great talent. Got to control the dumb shit, but hell of a talent. But I'm watching yesterday, and, their offensive line isn't the same. It has that Philadelphia feel to it to me, where they lost a great coordinator in Ben Johnson to the Bears, and then they kind of went in-house. And I wasn't sure if that's the way to go, because now Dan Campbell's taking over the place. So there's kind of a weird disconnect. Was it working? I don't know. And then Kelvin Shepard, I was like, I like him, but then it's like, last couple weeks he's looked like that? I don't know. And listen, Lions got issues in the back end. They just had so many injuries at the corners. But Lions are going to be okay. I think they're going to be okay. This is going to be kind of a year where, maybe they don't make it. And maybe they kind of sit back, reflect, get guys back, and they go. Now, Goff's going to be your quarterback for a long time. I don't doubt that for a second. He fits right in the city. They have great running backs. Their offensive line got Ragnow back. Kind of a need move because I feel like their interior's been kind of getting pushed around. Excuse me. So I am thinking Detroit, my takeaway from that game was they're going to be okay. It's just been a rough year for the Lions. It's been a rough year for a lot of teams. The NFL's weird and fickle like that. But I'm okay with the Lions right now. You're going to be okay. A little rough. You got swept by your in-division rival. But it's going to be okay. And I think moving forward, you got to wonder who the Lions are going to hire at coordinator. Because I saw the Eagles have this 2 years ago. Riding hot, and then it just kind of faded. Got new coordinators in, bang. So we'll see what happens in Detroit. But I was very impressed by Green Bay. Detroit put up a good fight yesterday, but you got to convert on those fourth downs. And Dan Campbell, that's coming back to bite him. And it's just in his nature. He's going to always go for it. I'm all for aggressive, but sometimes you teeter that line of reckless and safe. So, Lions are going to be okay. I'm not too worried about them. I would not sell my Lions stock today at all. And the other game I want to touch on was, how about those Cowboys? Woo! That was a great game yesterday. And, listen, Kansas City fans are going to, whatever, calls, blah, blah, whatever. But I'll say this with the Cowboys. They're impressive. They really caught my eye yesterday. They really did. And the George Pickens thing, I was kind of like, whoa, what are we doing? You got a first-time head coach, the Micah thing. There's just a lot going on in Dallas, like it always is. But then it kind of surfaced. I went, okay, all right. In this offense, Brian Schottenheimer, and maybe, he blew his opportunity and he had his chance and he was a hot name, shooting star, and it didn't work. And then he kind of went away. But I got to tell you, his offense is elite, man. They got dudes being productive everywhere. George Pickens, absolute steal from the Steelers. Getting him out of there, change of scenery. It's been fantastic. CeeDee Lamb, stud, badass. We know that. Then you got Javonte Williams, looks like a new man. When he was in Denver, he had that great rookie year, and that kind of faded. And then he comes into Dallas. He's productive. Jake Ferguson, he's not Kittle. He's not Kelsey, but he looks like a badass. I mean, he looks great. I mean, he's running down the seam with speed, great hands, can block pretty well. Fantastic. And then his offensive line's gelling. And it's a young unit. It's not like he's got Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick in there, like when Dak first got in the league. It's kind of a iffy offensive line. But they're running the ball well. They're giving him time to throw. Dak didn't get sacked yesterday at all. At all. They kind of neutralized Chris Jones. So I'm looking at this Dallas team. Now, are they going to make the playoffs? Probably not. They might, but probably not. But you got to be very optimistic if you're a Cowboy fan. Future. Because they've had a history. They draft pretty well since Dak's been there. They've whiffed like most teams do. But they do really well in their draft picks. They really do. Now, they overpay for some guys, and that kind of been in the ass. But I look at this Dallas team, and defensively, they've been so much better. ever since they got Quentin Williams, ever since they got Overshown, and Clowney's making plays. I thought he died. I thought I didn't hear from Clowney in a while. So he's just been this Dallas team. Now, got to do in the playoffs, but you got your window now. Because I look at Philly, they're a mess. Giants got a long, long way to go. We don't know who the coach is, who's making the decisions there, who's steering the ship. We don't know. Washington, oldest team in football. Debo was great, but he's a free agent. So you got a lot of things kind of weird in that division right now. But Dallas, they got 2 first-round picks. Yep. So they just really impressed me. And I just love Dak Prescott. He's the kind of guy I root for. And he just is incredible. He lost his mom like me. I kind of relate to him. Always says the right thing, right stuff. Never really love his throwing. Yesterday I saw some balls that he throws. I'm like, God help us, put that away. But played pretty well yesterday. So kudos to Dallas coming back. What a great 4-day stretch they had. They played the Cowboys Monday night, Raiders, joke game, I get it. Then you follow that up with an in-division game at home, down 21. You storm all the way back, 24-21 comeback. So that was impressive. And then to come back 4 days later on Thanksgiving, 50 million people watching, including this guy, and to win that way, icing on the cake. Christmas tree topper. Bing! So, absolutely fantastic, and good things to come for the Cowboys moving forward in the future. Now, can they go to an NFC Championship game? We don't know. But all I know is right now, Dallas' window is right here to capture and do something with it. So, watch out. And on the Chiefs side of things, it's been a rough year. It's been an inconsistent year. But you know what? Take this year with what it is, Kansas City. You're an older team. Brett Veach is going to probably make some moves. They still got their offense is not the problem. Now, Patrick, this isn't like the Tyreek Hill and that kind of thing. Because Patrick sometimes has some misses. But I will say this. You got Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes is still there. And as long as you got those two in that front office with the Hunt family, you're always going to be good. Now, this year's just inconsistent. You're going to be 10-7, miss the playoffs. That's okay. You're going to have one of these down years. New England went 10 years without a chip. So it's going to happen. One of these years, you're just going to lose. You're going to have one of these weird years. I mean, 100-yard pick six against Jacksonville. Does that really happen often? Probably not. But it's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles this year. When it rains, it pours, as Luke Combs says. So I do think Kansas City's going to be okay. You got to kind of find a new tight end for Travis Kelce because he's getting old. Still a good player, like past his prime. Reminds me of David Justice and Moneyball. You're kind of getting the big name over the production. But really solid player. Chris Jones is not what he once was. But Hall of Fame kind of player. Shows up when it needs to. But Kansas City's kind of... They need a running back. They need a bell cow back there. Kareem Hunt's been good for them. Solid. Pacheco's not bad. But, you got to kind of do some things. And then Josh Simmons got hurt yesterday. The Ohio State kid. He had some personal stuff. I don't know what was going on. He's been kind of in and out. So, they're going to be okay. Kansas City's going to be okay. Sky's not falling. Dynasty's not over. Okay? They're going to be okay. I always will trust people that are successful. Chiefs figure it out. Andy Reid's a great coach. And Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. Coach, quarterback, GM. It's 3 you need in this league. They have it. So everything's not all falling in Kansas City. A little concerning. Heart-wrenching loss. But don't lose sleep. You got Mahomes. You got Andy Reid. You're going to be okay. And last but not least, the Bengals-Ravens last night. I got home. Was just, didn't really feel like watching it. Every time I look up, it was Bengals scoring, and it just kind of an avalanche. And then I went back and watched the highlights right before I hopped on here. The Ravens are going to have a year from hell. It's just what it feels like. Max Lawson, I love you. Happy for your baby. Congrats, brother. But this Ravens team is just not good. They're just kind of off. That's all. The only word I can think of when I think of the Baltimore Ravens this year. Just off. There's something's weird with them. I don't know what it is. Lamar looks like 50% of what he is. He's pressing. 3 turnovers last night, 5 in total. You're not going to win that way. And I keep going back to something. They're like, we got to fire John Harbaugh. Okay, and who do you bring in? You know? But I also think Lamar, do they have a Lamar Jackson problem? I don't know. Because every time I watch a big game with Lamar, he chokes. I don't know. Now I could say, well, Peyton Manning had that. That's true. Peyton Manning had some of that early in his career. Had to shake it off. Herbert's got some of that right now with the Chargers. But I just kind of trust great organizations to kind of figure it out. And Baltimore's one of them. Like I just mentioned with Kansas City, Baltimore's going to be okay. They got to do some things. Get healthy. They've been so hurt this year. It's like 2015 again. They just got guys banged up on the IR. Blue tent. It's just crazy. But I do think Baltimore is in a weird spot. Because it's an older team. It's not a young team. Derrick Henry's getting up there. The Ravens have players on offense to make this work. And that's not my issue. Their offensive line's more than capable. But Lamar got to play better in big spots. And against his rival last night, for a guy that hadn't played in 3 months, looked pretty good. You know, now, difference is Joe Burrow, I'll get to him in a second. Joe Burrow's more pocket, can move when he needs to. Lamar's just runner, but then thrower. So, Lamar's been kind of rusty. They have feasted on some shitty teams, which you're supposed to do in this league. But I still are going to take the Ravens to win this division. That's the silver lining in this. Because I don't trust Pittsburgh. I don't. They're going to probably lose Sunday. Probably. I don't know. But they're going to probably lose. I'm going to look up Monday morning. They're going to be first place. Because this is what happens with Pittsburgh. They did this last year. They'll do it again. History's repeating. So, I'm not losing all my stock in Baltimore. But it doesn't look right. But I'm not putting it all on. Put some of it on Lamar. Some of it on just weird shit happening. Because something's not right. Because there were moments last night in that game I went, oh shit. Derrick Henry's running downhill. Shoulders squared. Running people over. All right. And then it looked like weird shit at Baltimore. Like in the playoffs last year. Like, So, be careful. I do think Baltimore's going to be okay moving forward. But just keep an eye on some things in Baltimore. And on the Cincinnati side, goddamn, does it great to have Joe Burrow back. It just feels great. The NFL needs their stars back. And the NFL's better when they have their stars. And Joe Burrow is a certified star. He is. Now, I remember in the offseason, people were like, trade Joe Burrow, man. The Bengals in a million years would never do that. Never. Now, I've said he might pull Carson Palmer and request a trade. Probably won't. But Joe Burrow last night had an answer that kind of was refreshing. When they put the mic in his face and he said, you're paying me millions of dollars to play a kid's game. Which is true. And it was just refreshing, like, unlike the NBA, who does load management and guys say, I'm tired, bullshit, smell crap. The NFL doesn't play that way. Like, are you healthy to play? Get your ass in there. Good talk. Thanks. So, I was very encouraged by that last night. Him and Jamar Chase are just like Montana to Rice. It just has that feeling. Favre Freeman. It's just, there's certain combos that just fit. Harrison, Manning, bang. And I'm watching last night. Jamar Chase looks like a happy kid again. And then I'm watching T. Higgins is out, but he's come back. Bengals can run the table. Probably won't. But it's just great to see Joe Burrow back. I mean, this offense really is special. And the Bengals defense, which has been kind of a sieve, they look pretty good last night. Now, I think granted that's Lamar kind of looking iffy, not 100%. But I watch this Baltimore or Cincinnati team, and they can finish pretty strong. And then go in the year next year, building off the momentum near the end of the year and kind of take it into 2026. So, let's see what happens. But be very encouraged last night with Cincinnati and Joe Burrow. So, that's all I want to touch on here tonight. Freaky Friday. We had rivalry games today. Some brawls going at it. Holy shit. I'll dive into that tomorrow. Bears, Eagles I'll dive into. We got college football all weekend. Hope you guys are doing well. Freaky Friday. Adios. Godspeed.